Hello. Uh, settings. Just trying to make sure everything is Let me know if you guys can hear me okay. It should be in the correct range. Maybe a little bit low. Maybe a little bit. Sound is muffled. All right. Yeah, that's what I was worried about. All right, let me pull this up. Actually, you know what? Let me see. Let me try. Let me try something real quick here. Let's not go through broadcast. Let's just go through here. All right. What about now? What about now? Any better? I need you to redo your entire object set. Nah, so what happened in Euro is I was running through NVIDIA broadcast and I think they did an update. Sound the same to me? Okay. Yeah. So all right, let me switch that back. So like I said, every time there's an update, it switches just a little bit. All right. Let me pull this. Mhm. Input level. All right, so that should make it a little bit louder. That should be the right stabilization, I believe. Um, yeah, buddy. Maybe this. This is a new setting. Warm and rich, maybe better. I don't know. It's more in the zone. Actually, it's a little bit high now. That's because I hate when updates mess everything up. Yeah, I mean, technically, it's considered a beta anyway. So yes and no. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it's technically it's a beta program for like noise cancellation and everything like that. Obviously, with Kip running around, I'm not like trying to keep it to where you guys can't hear him banging around and doing this much stuff. The sound quality's better, so I mean, like it'll take out like what's it called? It'll take out like air conditioning noise. Like if I had air conditioning noise, right? It would take that out. Um, you know, I don't have air conditioning noise right now. That's not the problem, but yeah, you guys get the idea. So yeah, so a lot of it is just for better sound quality. This is still a USB mic, and it's fine. You know, it serves its purpose. There's obviously it's like the biggest. You know, it's like my biggest thing is like how do you make the sound quality better, right? Um, that's the hardest thing, right? And again, there's different types of mics. You know, um, there is a new one out that's not crazy expensive, right? But to get the best ones, they tend to be yeah, a little more expensive, right? So yeah, it serves the purpose for with us. All right, let's go here. Hold on one sec. All right, so uh, for the most part, it's a Monday morning. Actually, hold on, I want to bring up an article real quick. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? I sent it to myself this morning, right there. Let's pull it there. And let's bring it across over here. And that'll be for later. All right. So for the most part, the only thing we have is really yen movement out there. You make me laugh. Um, guitar players. Rendered hearing aids. Yeah. So for the most part, the yen is the only thing moving and its weakness coming in. It's hard to say that it's dollar strength because you're seeing obviously dollar yen up big and pound yen up big, but then like the pound dollar, it's down 7. Right, nothing big. Euro pound up 39, so we are seeing a little bit of strength in the euro coming in. Dollar cat down about 17. Again, that one's kind of bouncing back and forth. Dollar Smith's totally flat. So I mean, it is what it is. It's Monday. Some interesting talks this weekend. You're talking, you can see some oil prices. Yesterday's OPEC thing was kind of the big thing we were looking for. This is the news article that I wanted to pull up here. Oops, don't need this. Basically talking about. Am I not going to be able to see it on here? I may not be able to see it here. Basically talking about how the U.S. flow of oil, or the shipments to oil, have dropped as low as early 2017. We all know what happened in 2017, 2018 timeframe. And OPEC Plus's decision to curb November output sparks rift in the United States. So the United States is pissed off, but we're importing less than we normally do, back to levels that are extremely low. Man, I'm like not paying for it, obviously, but yeah, they basically plunged to multi-year lows. So you got to look at it from Saudi Arabia's standpoint. They're like, listen, you're not buying oil, right? We need to stabilize oil. If you're importing less, that shows us that a recession is coming. I mean, that's what the data shows. You can see it tracked to the lowest since June. Looking at all this tanker data, as well as this weekend, we had the EU put in the price cap and basically, lowers oil prices for Europe. It's funny, lowering prices for Europe, they're lowering prices for Asia, right? This is like I haven't seen them lowering oil prices for America yet, which I doubt they will. They're not going to. So a lot of comment, and again, they did put a $60 price cap in, and Russia basically says, "Okay, that's great. We just won't send it to you." Which again, I understand why Europe wants to do it, and Germany made a comment here that we're going to have to avoid dividing the world into Cold War style blocks, which is exactly what's happening right now. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And again, if you think about what the old blocks are and the amount of people and power and influence, it's not really something that we want to go back to, right? So, again, Russia basically said, "You want to do 60? Great, we're not going to sell it to you." And it's their right. It's their natural resource. They do not have to. There's nothing out there that can force them to sell it. We're like, hey, we don't want them to, to fund their war chest. Okay, great, lovely, but not practical. So it's nice that they're kind of making those statements. So we'll see where it goes. I think it's going to be very, very interesting to see how it goes. And like I said, don't be surprised because it is becoming. Again, we already know where the threat to the dollar is coming from. Again, talking about lowering the cost of oil to Europe, right? Lowering the cost of oil. Where is it for Asia over here? If the United States is going to remain in the spotlight, and again, they're going to start capping things in dollars, the world is going to stop using the dollar because it's now being considered a geopolitical tool. Guess what? That other really, really large country that wants to take over as the preeminent power in the world, guess what? They are not in a, lack of a better word, pissing contest with other nations out there. On a business front, if you are a large commodity holder and you want to, deal with something, you don't want to deal with a weaponized currency. You want to deal with somebody that is friends with everybody and doing business with everybody. Not that China's doing it right. Don't get me wrong on that one. But China's playing this completely right, right? The United States is playing it completely wrong. We're giving up our power by making such a stance. And again, there's many things that Russia can do. Everybody, they know that the world needs what they have, right? We're not there yet. And again, instead of funding billions, we talked about this before, instead of funding billions and billions and billions, giving tons of weapons and even more weapons and more weapons and more weapons and more billions, if you would just kind of push towards the renewable sources that don't require the natural resources that Russia has, it gets to the root of the problem a heck of a lot faster. It does everything that you need to do, and it makes them want to play nice because they got nothing that nobody wants, right? We can't sell garbage because nobody wants it, right? You want to keep them from being able to use it. And the reason why they're not doing that is because the United States makes so much money off of oil as well. So it's kind of one of those things. Like they could do the right thing, but they're not really doing the right thing. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how this continues to play out. Definitely get your popcorn, right? I think it'll be an interesting December as far as commodity prices are going. We'll see where it ends up. Like I said, with no lockdowns in China, I think that has the ability to bump it. I think we're sitting at 82 right now. We're not quite in that 90 range, but we start seeing cutbacks, lower supply, or lower purchasing. That means there's a more of a tax on or more of a drive on. And it's funny, just so you know, it's the price cap is for sea-based oil, not land-based oil. So I feel like the land-based oil is going to be it's not real. So it's pretty funny how it's all working out. But yeah, so that's what we got right now. The ISM data is coming in 10 in about 15 minutes. We'll see how that looks for the United States. And then tonight we do have a cash rate change for the Aussie. And again, we'll see what Aussie movement looks like. Right now, it's really not much. Again, it was a overnight session, so European session. Not anything crazy in there. That we got to be like, ooh, right? Nothing, phenomenal, earth shattering. So not necessarily worried about tonight. But again, depending on what the trading action looks like today, it may provide some, overall opportunity for tonight. So, it could provide what we need. We'll see how it goes. This came out a little while ago. Bring inflation back down to 2. I see a 50 basis point increase, and there's a minimum that needed somewhere. Okay, that's fine. It's funny. Some of the people in the ECB are saying, "Yep, we need 50." Some people are like, "Nah, we're almost at neutral," right? it's premature to be talking about an endpoint for policy rates with inflation as high as it is. So kind of interesting. Yes, did you see that? That was a fun comment. Not 50's not enough. So we'll see where it goes. Tomorrow morning, nothing really. You guys can see that we have full blast, everything, all currencies, and again, typically the yellow is not moving much, and we got one thing: GDP quarter over quarter. So not a lot in the next 2 days. And again, this is how December tends to work out. So, um, you know, Wednesday, at least there's a rate hike for the Bank of Canada, but for the most part, we're kind of, again, this is an anemic week as far as news goes, and we get those, you know, it's just time of year, based off the current plan schedule. So, not a lot there. So we'll see what the markets look like today. As far as the VIX goes, it makes it look like the VIX is up absolutely like enormous amounts right now. Oh my God, 5.88. Yeah, but I mean, Friday, we got a big drop in Friday. We're really kind of just where we started, right? So I wouldn't quite say that this is, again, it's because there's nothing out there. We'll see what ISM looks like. If ISM is not bad, I imagine this deteriorates very, very fast. So far, everything is in the red, as it should be. I mean, if you look at the data from last week, yes, buddy. If you look at the data from last week, I mean, everything basically was, saying that, hey, listen, yes, interest rates are going to continue to rise, as they should. Hey, that's bad for the markets. Recession. Number of different people this weekend actually were talking about different other signs out that the recession is coming. Most people are saying within 6 to 12 months, basically within the next year, we will see it. It'll be interesting to see when the official recession kicks in. They say that it's not probably going to be a bad one. It's going to depend on the consumer. But they said right now, some of the really kind of worrying things that we're seeing is, again, yes, people are spending, but we've watched the savings go from a higher rate for, traditionally in the United States to a low rate back again. People are starting to jack up the credit card debt again. So yes, they're still spending, but rather soon, people are not going to have the capability to do it anymore. So the capability to spend is going to be removed from us. So that kind of adds an interesting kind of look at it as well. And that's what's really probably going to drive the recession. And again, we already know housing is all kind of funky and weird with rising interest rates, and it's going to continue to go. I think at least one or two more is what we're going to get before we pause. So that's where we're at. As far as the dollar, not really much movement. We had a low that came in late last night, right? Early morning today, right around midnight. That kind of put the low in, and we're kind of right back up. And we're kind of where we were Friday morning. Friday at 7:30, right before the pop, and even afterwards where we closed, we're at the exact same spot. So not really much weekend movement on the dollar. Looking at the dollar, running some most recent like high lows from this last kind of change of trend, and again, there can be argued that there was a change of trend here before this big drop as well. You can see both the 23s are somewhat in close proximity, but there's not really a whole lot sitting there. There are airs a little bit above, and I think right now, as far as reversals on the dollar go, I think that right now, this most recent high to low and this price level right here is where we should see the dollar turn in reverse. And I'd say 105.52 is probably the right area. Whoops, hold on, this moved. Hasn't the recession been here for most of the year already? Not really. Because typically, if you ask the average person if the recession is here yet, the answer would be no, right? It's not in yet because the consumer is still spending. On paper, you could say, hey, listen, some of this data point, if we have this, we're in a recession. But technically not yet. We haven't really seen, we've seen the contraction, but we haven't seen really kind of like, if you ask people, what does recession feel like? It's not here yet. Because again, people were, in 2020, 2021, we had so much stimulus that came out to us. People padded savings higher than what we normally have. So people have been spending and using that. That's why it hasn't, quote, felt like a, quote, recession, right? If that makes sense. That's all. Yeah. So, on data, it's kind of like, yes, no, maybe so, but reality is not yet. People had extra savings that they were spending, stimulus checks, all that kind of stuff. It hasn't quite, we haven't quite seen the brunt of what we expected, right? Or what a recession would look like. But, again, not by definition, but by description. Like, if that makes sense. It's Monday. I've only had, one cup of coffee. So you guys know how it goes. Yeah, Monday, and I've already run like 12 different places. Hold on, what? Sorry, Melissa just shot me a message. I was trying to figure out. No, what? Um, no? Okay. Sorry. Um, she's sending me messages, but they're like half cryptic, so I'm trying to figure out exactly what she's talking about. And Kip is dumping milk everywhere. Hold on, what are you doing? Why are you dumping milk? Here, drink. No, we're not painting the room with milk. Here, here, take this. Yeah, so, all right. But that's where we're at with the dollar. Indices are currently in the red, and again, I think that kind of makes sense where they are. Again, one of the things you got to realize too, now that we are kind of, again, not deep in December, but we're starting December, you got to understand the rationale of the overall market. December is where funds and everything like that start locking in profits for the year. It's basically time for them to get out of the market. So typically, what we see in December is, whatever profits have been generated thus far, they start locking them in. Right? There's no point in risk the last kind of month. It is always a lower volume month. In the stock market and really all trading across the board is definitely lower in the month of December. And again, that's because hedge funds, banks, they're locking in profits for the year to be like, yep, here's our year-over-year return. Bam. Like there's no point in kind of messing it and let it deteriorate in December. So we're going to start seeing that. So seeing red, this first week is not uncommon as people sell the positions that they've been into for the year to kind of lock that kind of stuff in. So, and again, fundamentally, I think it does make sense. Right now, you're seeing the commodities for the most part in the red, minus oil. And again, oil, we know it's a geopolitical thing right now. Again, with OPEC meeting this weekend, talking about additional cuts. And again, remember, they're not getting involved in politics. They are purely looking at this on a business standpoint. They are saying, hey, listen, we're not even into a recession yet. We think you're going into a recession, and we've seen the lowest imported volume since 2017. On paper and their pocketbooks and wallets, all they're seeing is, again, demand drying up. So what they're trying to do is lower the cuts to stabilize price. Because again, their mandate is actually price stabilization, right? Our gas prices, again, I don't know what it is near you guys, but I think our cheapy one right now, like our Sam's Club, tends to be the cheap one right now. It was $3.19 yesterday. I think I paid $3.19 for it. It's pretty good, right? So yeah, I'm okay with that. I think $2.99 would be better. If I could get $2.99 for Christmas, I would be happy, right? Right? I'd be good with that. But which is good because I'm like daddy daycare in the morning now, or daddy taxi, daddy Uber, right, in the morning. Drop the boys off, come home, take Melissa to work, drop Jen off, and then present. Deb, you guys didn't drop after Thanksgiving, so the week that oil dropped for us, the week that oil dropped $15 during Thanksgiving week, prices didn't move because again, it's Thanksgiving. They're not going to lower the prices. They're going to make as much. They have rules that you can't sell gas under what the average rate is or whatever. So like Sheetz always tries to do $1.99 gas for Thanksgiving. It's against Maryland law. They wouldn't let them sell it cheap. So what was the response? Nobody moved gas prices. They left them high even though oil dropped $15 a week. And then as of Monday morning after Thanksgiving, everything dropped like 15 cents. It was like, oh, that wasn't rigged, right? This isn't a manipulated market. You guys aren't being greedy, right? But yeah, that's what we saw. But now we're down to, $3.19. So we're getting close. But it's weird. Then you drive down the street and like a Shell station is like $3.45. I'm like, haha, I'm going down the street, buddy. 20 cents is cheaper. All right. Right now in the Aussie dollar, you can see from where we were Friday into Sunday, we're sitting over in this range right here. Friday to Sunday's right here. Not really a big gap. Again, we were kind of pinched in between two levels. We're removing this from last week. We knew we had kind of levels here, and that's really kind of what it ran into. But we're kind of boxed in between the two. We kind of went up, put a new high, which is totally fine. Again, low volume time on the weekend. We can kind of put ourselves up there and kind of start drawing that one. If you want to bring the fibs across, we can just to make it easy to see. Now, again, it has kind of already punched through, and we know we have buyers down low. Right now, I would say kind of the two areas I'm looking for are really here, top and bottom. And again, I'll leave both of these in the yellow. We obviously have some buyers sitting in here, and could we take a bounce or reversal off this area? Sure. But that's how big the area is. For me, it's not really a great level that I'm like, hey, listen, I like this. We should buy off this level. Not really my favorite. It's not really what I'm looking for, right? So right now, the two levels I am looking at are 68.40 and 67.11. 67.11. It was a decent little base and kind of big push off of that. It is kind of snuck right behind the 50, so I think it is hiding. And people that you have that get in on the 50 and use the 61A as a stop loss, this is a great little small area. So not very much risk. 10 pip risk, so it's like a 10 for 30. But the reality is, right, we need some type of a driving factor. Right now, it definitely could be U.S. strength. But with the interest rate rise tonight, with this pushing forward, if this kind of pushes down, that could be an opportunity for us right here for the rate decision to actually maybe they come in a little bit higher than expected, or they give kind of a, we're not done, we're going to go, could be a strength move. If all the weakness is already baked in, that could be the opportunity to go long right before news tonight. Oh, yeah. So you're at that point, but it's got the temporary gas tax. Yeah. Yeah, we had that, but now that Hogan's not anymore, he doesn't care. It's kind of like, hey, let's wreck this state now. So, yeah. I don't know. All I got to say is we've had the strategic oil reserve is now off, right? We're done supplementing with this. Like, I think we used almost half the reserve is what we ended up using. So half the reserve is gone, which pissed off Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia is about to do cuts, which is also going to jack it higher. And again, they're pissed off that China locks down. So China's like, okay, fine, we won't lock down anymore, which is even more demand. So it's kind of like, what the heck are our oil prices? I mean, what are our gas prices going to look like, right? It's like insane. But anyway, wait for this one to come back down. I think either of these two levels is decent. If we can get them around news, I think it'll be a decent trade in that one. Also, again, you can see that, again, we had that Harry Potter trade last week. It initiated on Friday morning. It finished by 4 o'clock. That's where we came off of. And again, 5 o'clock this morning as well as this session. And again, we've seen the yen being kind of the main driver right now. If we see yen reversal, again, it's another trade. It has kind of tagged it twice, so I'd be a little bit more cautious. But, people out there that love patterns will see this and be like, oh, that's a double top. We should be shorting it now for a low. And I think if you are going to play something along those lines, it'd be like, hey, listen, I know I measured from here down to the neck, and then I go, and that's where my profit target is. Whoops. If you were going to do something like that, right? If you're going to do something like that, just be cautious because there is a level of basing right here, right, that you got to watch out for. So it's a little bit deep on this one if you're going to play like a double top on it. Right now, I think we had some decent stabilization and we kind of went a little bit low. But I think right now I'd like to see for news, and again, we know that news is coming in right here. If we can get that Aussie weakness, what we're kind of seeing in two different pairs right now, there could be the potential for a long right here. Now, normally, again, this is what the forecast is that they're raising interest rates. Normally, I like to do with the opposite of what they're forecasting. But if we see all that weakness baked in ahead of time, it kind of looks like it's preparing for a long. Okay, so again, we'll see if we drive down all day, if we get yen strength coming back in and dollar strength coming back in, or just Aussie weakness in general, that should deteriorate all the way back to the downside, and there should be the ability for us to take this long. All right. What are you doing here? He is painting himself in milk. It's gonna go well. I'm just saying, it's gonna go well. Buddy, what are you doing? What are you doing? Hold on one sec. What? Sorry, Melissa shot me another message. She's like, I'm sorry. I was like, it's okay. It's all right. What? No. Okay. Sometimes I swear, if this is, it's like, when she works from home, we don't talk this much. She goes to work and I get like nonstop messages. She's like, I know you're in a webinar. I'm like, yeah, I'm in a webinar. like, like, I'm like, you're killing me. All right, sorry. Um, Hipster. All right, buddy. Yeah, what? You want to go out there? Okay. Hold on, let me learn that real quick. Hold on. You want to go out there? All right, sorry. All right, you can go. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. I don't need to carry you. You can do it yourself. Yeah, Kip's a piece of work. He's here. He's definitely more demanding than the girl was. Um, let's see. Here, buddy. Here, here. All right, sorry. Giving him some Peppa Pig. He likes Peppa Pig. He's a big Peppa fan. Yeah. Um, yeah. He definitely likes his Peppa. What about a wild pig? Oh, sorry. All right. All right, we're good. All right. So, euro dollar. So Eurodollar, we've had a nice run back this morning. So last week we had this nice little parabolic move and a kind of a full retracement. A lot of basing in there. You would expect it to break. And then we ended Friday. Friday was right here. Again, we just kind of pushed up, went back down, and we're lower than where we closed on Friday. And again, this is what happens over the weekend. You see European session started here, right? Actually, it started here. We pushed down 530 reversal. There was a zone there. You could have traded this 530 reversal right there, right? That was literally at 530. Nice little long from that one. Unfortunately, I did not get that today. I was a little bit on the sleepy, tired side today. So I'm not going to lie. Love to tell you guys that I caught it, but I did not. All right. There. Right. There was your 530 reversal on it. Now we're trending back to the downside. Right now, I'm kind of looking and looking at this one the same way with the Aussie dollar. We know we got a level all the way down here, 1 at 435. We bounced off of it once and saw kind of a little push. It is a double. When I say double bottom, I don't mean the traditional chart stick pattern double bottom. I mean that it's mirrored wicks. They both got it on the same spot, showing me that we kind of established and then cleared all at the same point. Right now, I would expect this to deteriorate all the way back down to the downside. I'd like to see what it does down here, this 1 at 435. We've hit it before. It's kind of backstopped by the 50, and again, that's the old 50. If I bring it up now, you can see that it's a little bit deeper than the 50, but again, people that get in at the 50 use the 618 as a stop loss. Again, you can see that it is confirmed 2 times, but neither time is pushed very deep. So right now, I'm kind of looking for a target down there and a potential bounce. Again, this could be over here for balance of trade that does it. Obviously, it's not going to be down here. Let's see. ISM just came in. Oh, that's good. That's good, right? Again, services are up. We saw manufacturing down, showing contraction. This is the exact opposite. Again, even leads us more to believe that they are going to continue to raise interest rates. So that's good. We'll see if we can get it to push all the way down, and then we'll get a reversal later today. I think that makes the most sense. Euro pound. So Euro pound is currently sitting at a level that we had mentioned. We talked about if this was the bottom. We're kind of there right now. We need this to kind of reverse a little bit. We don't have the confirmation entry in. It hit it and pulled back and then kind of pushed forward. We have a red, but I think once we get a reversal, that's where we start to take this one short. Because again, this was kind of from last week. We hit it, we pushed down, we are at over 1-to-1. We may actually need to look up here and use this one. Because again, like I said, when you start getting these touches when it's off hours, how much is that? It's only 10. Yeah, it's only 10 pips. But that was a nice little push there. Today. Retail sales tonight. Yeah, so we're basically waiting for a headline in this one. So, yeah, I mean, we've already hit it once. So, I think we wait till we go back up. I'm not going to use this one again. Another 11. Yeah, see, we hit this and went pull 1.5, so that one's out. Pull these two across. That one's still good. This one, I'd be cautious. We have our original. Well, we got our 1, 2, 3, and pushed it to the brink. So yeah, this is what we stay away from. I think we look for a reversal up top. We could potentially have this come in at that 10:30 mark. Again, European session is here. We've been straight up. We should see a reversal and roll to the downside. So look for a confirmation entry on this one. Don't take this one as a number 1. Wait for a number 3. Or number 2 or number 3. Again, you can do a red, green, red, or you can wait till it forms a top, pulls back down, and then pulls back up and tests the top. But I would look for a reversal on that one. We'd mark this level here. Let's see where we're at. Yeah, just a little bit above. It's using the 50 right now. So again, we're looking for a reversal here. Obviously, this one has already taken off. We're looking for a reversal of sorts here, and we're looking for a reversal here right at this 50% retracement level. Let's see, 8:30. Problem is these are all Sunday nights. I kind of like that top. I wonder if we get a pullback. Just 2 more near term there. And the risk on that is about 15. That's not bad. Look at all the basic in here. Break, pop, and go. Kipster, where you at? I see a trail of crumbs. All right. Yeah, I like this one for reversal. I'd like to see it base a little bit, pull back and touch it, and then take it from there. Again, it is 50% retracement, so again, it may have left, but waiting for kind of a touch. I think we can get another touch and push this back down again. Profit overall in the short is down to 142.23, or if you want to make it easy, 142.24. He's playing with his car. Like, what the heck is that clunk? So yeah, nice little runner to the downside. And again, this is about 110 pips. The same thing we're seeing. We've seen yen strength all night. Aussie dollar is there, euro dollar is there, pound dollar is there, dollar yen is there. We know all the yen based pairs or the yen secondary pairs are kind of at places for profit taking. So again, like that one to the downside. Pound yen. So there was our trade from last week. Again, we missed it because I didn't put it on the actual news release. Had I put it on the news release, we would hit it. Whoops. Right now, let's extend this across. We're going to put this over here. You can see this top still worked fine. And again, got a nice little bit here. So let's pull this. Kind of there's your base. Actually, do it from there. It's an 830. This one's moved too much. Right now, see that went right to the end. It's a great target. If you are short, I think there's a great target right there. I think that makes complete sense for a target. As far as going long from that level, although we do kind of have, I don't want to say parabolic move because 8 o'clock is really what's sending it down. This zone has been pushed literally to that level, right? That is so tiny, even though that's where the level is. Hmm. Hmm. Which more has it got to go? 40. Yeah, I just don't like that as far as a takeoff point. I do think it is due for a reversal, but that spot kind of scares me because again, it is eating all the buyers up until the very very bottom of that piece. Um, I think it should roll all the way back down again. I think there could actually be a discussion about again, this is a tested confirmed level, not a today trade. If it does, I mean, it's a heck of a move. It's only about what, fucking 13. Yeah. Um, Something along those lines, right? Not bad. Not crazy. Not crazy. Yeah, I think that's where we go with it right now. Yeah, even if it reverses right now, it's at a reversal level, but even this level right here, Europeans are rolling out. U.S. is staying strong for the day. So I don't even think that doesn't necessarily make sense. Pound yen, we know we're high from the original push, and again, you guys can see we turned. All our profit targets from last week were hit. Let's take this out. Again, we were sitting back here. We were sitting right here actually on Friday, right? And you can see it's out. Both profit targets were hit. Let's pull these now. Let's move them across. I do like this one down, but I would have liked it better if it was up top. out, obviously. Turn this green. All right. So, we can take this out, actually. That could be gone. Hmm. Yeah, so I like this one short just because of the yen. But as far as like decent levels on a Monday right now, with the levels that are actually we've been given, there's nothing great here. Yeah, there was a nice reversal from that 167.19, but the way that the zone formed, it was pretty choppy up there. It's okay. Um, it's all right for a level. Like I said, where we're at right now, I do think that the yen is going to come back in. And again, this is Monday trading. Again, there was no, obviously the European influence on this one was straight up, as with all the yen pairs. But right now, with the U.S. coming in and the yen being a proxy, it looks like the U.S. session is actually the one that would give it a little bit more kind of pressure to the downside. So, uh, yeah, just none of the setups on this look great. Again, this is going to be a Monday problem. Um, yeah, wish I had more for this one, but I don't. Like I said, I'd wait for 167, 167.19 and 164.30 on the other direction. Dollar CAD. So dollar CAD is pushing. Right, you can see all the chop that we got in there. So let's. He's climbing everything. Let's pull these. We can reestablish this one lower, but we'll change it. Let's bring this down. It's a nice pop this morning, right there. Again, 8:30 bounce on that one. This target was out. Let's pull that. All right, you can see those poor 23 traders. Right, I guess they would have got in here. They got in once, I guess. Yeah, I guess they got in. Not too bad. But we are coming up on the 50. So we mentioned this one before. So where the 50 is at, the 135.20 level. Obviously, there was no supply zone there. It was purely a term. At the time, it wasn't a 50. It was actually a little bit higher than that. It is approximately in the 50 range right now. And again, that will come into play. The problem with this right now is obviously oil's involved. Although oil is up 1.24, although oil is pulling back again. Now, a lot of this movement right now is because of that ISM services data that came in. We know that the manufacturing was horrible, but the services data was actually very good. That probably supplies a lot of people. And again, really kind of gives the Fed a kind of a go ahead that, hey, listen, yeah, absolutely, raise those interest rates. Services look good. People are spending still. Again, not looking at the credit cards and all the data we got last week. It doesn't matter what Again, if they took 50 basis points as a weakness, at this point, it's kind of like, yeah, it's a weakness, but they're going to keep raising, just not at 75. So again, it's up. I think a reversal will probably come in somewhere around the 50. Unfortunately, because we have nothing over here, it's very hard to drive, any type of a level here. I would expect they step in somewhere in there. Maybe they fully snipe it on the 50 again. But you can see there's no sellers until we get all the way up here to 135.63. Is this a parabolic move? Yeah, technically. I mean, it kind of went off that 8:30 time frame. That 8:30 was, again, um, it's the U.S. session opening is really what it comes back down to. So was it really news based? Not so much. Not on an economical level. I mean, if you were, again, all nothing, there's nothing sitting there, right? There's nothing sitting there. So, um, I think we're due. But right now, that data that we got today was just too good for the United States. USD again, 100% justified. But you can see pre-news at 8:30. U.S. session rolled in, nothing but dollar strong. So I think we have two reversal levers in dollar CAD. I think what should be good though. Again, we're seeing oil start to pull back a little bit. It was up more than this before. That's obviously helping it too. As oil pulls back, that's also CAD weakness. So I would say this is kind of the perfect storm right now. For the dollar CAD, but I think a reversal is probably due to some point here. Because again, I don't think the oil story is over. And again, once the news kind of washes itself out, the dollar should probably pull back a little bit as people are taking profit on this one. So I think there's a reversal. These would be my two picks for levels. But again, without any definable risk, I can say that I think it's going to reverse, but I can't give you a definable level of risk without a zone over here. So it's just how we trade. Dollar Swiss. Dollar Swiss took the same bank this morning. Again, there was the original. There's the 2 touches off of it. We're back up at that 94 level, and again, we knew that was going to be a psychological level. Right now, it looks like this 94.60 is going to be the confirmed level, sitting still at the 61.8 with a bottom put in, even though there was a push up. As you can see, it did roll up to 50, and again, there were sellers in there. And then again, that was the Friday news. We already saw that one. We knew that it was coming in. Is there a level there? Probably, yeah. But it's already been up there twice, so I'd be a little bit more leery of taking it a third time, just because it's really starting to kind of push it. And again, 94.50, 94.60 is not a horrible level for a reversal, but I think at this point we have such a nice little zone that's confirmed right above it. I think we just stay a little bit on the conservative side and wait for this one to come up. All right, that makes the most sense. And again, if we reverse, great. I think we look lower, and again, we are in the lower part of the curve, so we are a little bit more bullish biased. Again, I think it completely makes sense on this one. We talked about this one being a week-long trade, more of a swing position. I think a swing position to the long side is absolutely what makes sense right now for the dollar Swiss. The Swiss is basically, we already know, kind of at neutral, and we know the United States is going to raise. So at this point, it's just a countdown until the official raise is in. So I think we come back up and probably I think 95 by the end of the week is what we'd be looking for. Yeah, I think that's fine. Dollar yen. All right, so dollar yen. Let's see. Let's pull this down. Yeah, it's the 50. Let's pull this across. Let's put it to here. All right, same level that we talked about last week, and we're in close proximity right now. Oops, so let's turn this to a... What are you doing, buds, there? All right, so this still comes across. All right, and again, same narrative. So again, that was the bottom last week. We're good with that bottom in. Right now, 136.66 is the level that we're looking for. It looks just like all the other, again, secondary pairs. We've kind of pushed up, since this week has started. We should be getting some type of a reversal from the yen sometime today as people take profit in it. And yeah, so nothing different than what we had last week. It's the same move. It just, instead of being a 23.6, now it's a 50, and it's bisected pretty well in there. So I think that's good. Cryptos, hold 17, nothing crazy there. Doji up a little bit. TLT, obviously down a bit. And again, we're seeing that dollar strength roll into the market, so kind of makes sense why we're seeing that. I would expect this one also to go lower. I'm actually surprised we got up to 107. I thought 105 would kind of be our top. But obviously it went a little bit higher. As far as oil goes, again, still kind of chopping sideways. I'd like to see kind of what the stance is. I think oil is very risky right now with the game. I don't want to say the game, but, with OPEC, Saudi Arabia, the price cap, I think it's absolutely awesome. Props to them for the confidence to be like, yeah, we're gonna cap. We're not gonna pay for seaborne Russian oil more than $60 a barrel. I think that's great, And again, in theory, I love how you tell Russia what they're gonna, what you're gonna pay for it. I mean, go tell Ford, hey, listen, I'm gonna put a price cap on Ford. I'm only gonna spend $20,000 on the Ford, and go to the dealership and see how well that works for you. It will tend to not be great. And I think that's going to be kind of the same thing that, what's going to happen with, this scenario, as Russia's going to be like, okay, pound stand. We'll sell it to somebody else that wants it, right? Because like I said, Russia has a big say in OPEC Plus and what they do. So, that is obviously helpful. All right. All right. Natural gas. So natural gas is getting hammered. Natural gas has taken a big push to the downside. Now, again, 8%, you're like, whoa, that's big. It is big, but this has been such a crazy geopolitical-based pair. I think it matters. Again, for me, I'm kind of wondering if the statements out of Germany were kind of foretold. And again, I'm wondering kind of if people are reading this as, oh, yeah, we can't turn this into they have this and we have this type scenario. Because while oil is dirty and everybody knows that oil is bad, natural gas doesn't have the same stigma. So you can get rid of oil all you want, but natural gas doesn't seem to be going anywhere. And Russia does have a lot of that too, right? So kind of interesting that Germany said that. I wonder if there's not going to be the supply chain issues that we have. And again, you can see, natural gas, we talked about it coming back down. We said it wasn't really a great level because we had 1, 2, and 3 touches, and you can see it actually gapped down to a 4th touch, and now we're basing and looking to break. So the next level we really have is sitting down here at 560. We got another 17 cents to go on that one. We are gap past here on the 78, so we don't need that anymore. Um, pull this, pull that. Let's run it from top to bottom and see where some pullbacks. Yeah, so right now, if you wanted to box in natural gas, I would say that there's our top. Again, you gotta respect where the gap kind of came in at. That's at 620, and then obviously on the downside, you're looking at that. What did I say, 560? Yeah, 560. We've had this 560 out here forever, right? It's been a thing, but that's kind of where our tops and bottoms are. If it can break below that, right? If it does break a little bit below, there is another level small down here at about 536. Don't love it. If we can get back down to that, that'd be awesome. Like if we can get into wintertime and be breaking back into the fours, I think that'd be awesome, right? The day of the $10 is hopefully over. Um, yeah, that's the best trade I got on that one. Gold. Yeah, so there was our gold trade from last week. We did rally back up Friday, and then Sunday. We put a top in. And again, we love this 1800, right? So we can extend this a little bit higher. We talked about any time that we have, and actually, look, there's a couple trades in this one. Anytime, again, with them raising interest rates, we talked about, hey, anytime you can get a type of base like this is an opportunity for us to short. There was a nice little Harry Potter trade in here, right in there, kind of a little bit of a pullback. This profit target is now out, and we talked about coming down and touching 1771. We missed it by just a little tiny bit. I think right now we start to kind of shrink this down and say, hey, listen, just like this was a Harry Potter last week, let's set up a Harry Potter trade here. Let's take this to 1 to 3, right there. We'll just use this one because it's already on here. Oh, actually, I should have used this. My bad. I don't know the code on that one, buddy. That's Asher's. No, get the pink one. Get Sisters. I can turn Sisters tablet on, but I cannot turn Asher's tablet on. Here. Here. We're not watching Barbie. Hold on. I gotta put some pepper on. There you go. There you go. You can watch Peppa on this tablet. So right now in gold, I would look for shorts below 1767 all the way down to 1756. I think that's a decent run on the downside. Makes more than enough sense. Again, I think, again, we know the interest rate is coming. They have not said, hey, we're going to hold interest rates. That has not even remotely come up yet. And again, slowing from 75 to 50 makes 100% sense. Because again, 75 is considered a big, where 50 is not out of the ordinary. Again, just historically that makes sense. So again, look for that short to continue lower, and again, potential basing down here at 1740. Silver doing what it's supposed to do. It's moving twice, and again, you can see the top kind of put in late last night. Again, this is sitting here. You can see this is pretty easy. Look at this. Again, looking for that one was good from last week. Let's pull this back up again. We are approaching a level, I'd say target level here. Oof, do we play with that 70 or 61.8? Look at this nice little run here. Whoops, wrong color. Short here, down 1 to 3 is right there. Ooh, that's a decent trade. Profit should be taken before there. Should be at 20. Whoops, 62. There you go. Look at that. Almost perfect. Look at that right down on the bottom. So yeah, so that one's good. Yeah, I'm good with that one. Again, huge push today, as it should. But funny, the news came in here, and this candle, magically, it already knew, right? Again, it's just the adoption of everybody knows they're going to raise interest rates, and then again, services just proved it yet again that we've got nothing to worry, right? Nothing to worry about on that one. So yeah, not bad. Tesla, Tesla down a bit, a little bit of a gap in there from Tesla, right? That's kind of ugly for them, right? Apple doing okay, but pulling back very, very quickly. So let's see what the indices did. They're all about kind of leveled out from where they were. All right. Oh, that was the old level. should be here. And 1, 2, 3 is right there, 3.03. So there you go. There's your opening print. What, buddy? Yeah, so again, just a pullback. There's an old violated level, right? We had a base, we punched high, and then 1, 2, and 3, we based in it. We dropped below, we based, we pulled back. So again, the zone was formed at that time, so perfect opportunity there. NQ. NQ didn't have the same base. 930, it did drive up at 930. This one would have been a little bit harder because we had so many bases here. Again, you could say that, hey, listen, actually in this push, this is actually off. It's the wrong direction. I'd say the problem with this one is, oh God, it's not even a great level. You're kind of boxed in at 930 being right here. You're kind of sitting in the middle. So not really a good opportunity because the range is just too small. There's not enough range for it. It did take a pop up. It missed the entry, though, for the base up top. Okay, so not really a great one. So unfortunately, that didn't do it. So we're 1 for 2 as far as entries go. YM. Let's see. Now, YM didn't have the same problem here. Is that 930? It is. Let's see. Your confirmation comes in here. Yeah, this looks like it's going to be old level as well. It's going to be like this. Probably there. I mean, conservatively there, right? Again, there's your base. Touch. There's 3. There's your base. There's your pullback. And then again, there's your confirmation. If we wanted to be, again, if you wanted to box the whole zone off, there's the whole zone. The red candle, the touch. It's the bottom here, top here. Okay. Again, here's your 930 candle. There's 1 to 3 exactly. Okay. So you can see well beyond the move. Okay. Does that come back up and touch it again? No, I think we wait. I was trying to see if I take that again. And I was like, we went from, and it's funny. Here, we can remove this real quick. We'll go from here, down, up. And you can see 33 is here. Once we got the bottom 33, meet reverse, and we're sitting back in the middle again. So, I don't know that I'd use that again for a short. Again, old violated levels we typically use once. Twice starts to get a little bit iffy on that one. So, if one is bullish, would the S&P the other way off the Friday low be good, or does 1030 count as a third touch from Wednesday for S&P? So long from down here. Or you saying if it comes back down here again? Yeah. So here would be my concern. Yeah, there's a long in here, right? If you're going to draw a zone on this one, you're looking at something like that. That's a pretty big zone, right? There's a lot of risk on that one. We've hit it again, and then we're pushing back and starting the base. So whenever you tag a zone, hitting a zone, there's no problem with hitting a zone, right? And coming back away. But when you only move a little bit and you start the base right above it, what it's doing is it's accumulating orders as like kind of like a supply depot, right? It's like, oh, we're out of ammunition. We need more ammunition. Go back and grab it. So if it hits it again, you can see that sellers are starting to form right here. Okay. So if it hits it again and holds, all it needs to do is just go a little bit and then start to push down. So, it's hard because this is a big zone and it wasn't super clean. It gave us a red, green, red, and then it reversed. But there's no true sign over here. So yeah, could you take it long? You could, but overall, I'd be looking more to stay with trend on this one. Because again, this is from last week. This was news from last week. It was a parabolic move and a parabolic retracement. Okay. Today, obviously, the trend is down, right? On the 4-hour basis, we can see that, yes, it is, on a 4-hour. Here, go to a 4-hour. Or we can use 30, I guess, or we could use 60. Doesn't matter. We're in a downtrend right now, right? You can see that it's a downtrend. It's pretty easy. We'll use an hourly, right? We're in a downtrend right now, right? We're looking to get in on pullbacks. Yeah, we got to be cautious, but this is such a big zone. Again, on an hourly basis, I wouldn't really even be worried until we got to anything down in here. This would be the next major buying area. Because remember, the smaller time frames are great for entry. But as far as drawing zones, the smaller time zones tend to be not as strong, right? Because they're just smaller. They're just tiny, tiny fluctuations. Not that we can't trade off tiny fluctuations, but you got to understand that there's higher risk associated with it. If that makes sense. Okay. So for me right now, that's where I'd be looking. Again, if we can break through and I don't know, let's say on a 5 minute, is there a decent base on this one? Yeah. So you could say I would actually look more for this. 1, 2, and 3 is right there. Look, and that's perfect. It's right before we start to see buyers step in. Right. That's what I'd be looking for more than anything else. We know there's buyers here, right? We know there's buyers here. Absolutely. How do I know? Because after this push, it stopped and they stabilized themselves and took off. If there was no buyers, price would have continued to go lower. So I know absolutely without a doubt, there's at least one left, right? We know there's at least one because if there wasn't, the price would have went lower, 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 right? But what could happen at this level, right? It could hit it and go one more time. That's fine. It could hit it a second time and go high. That's fine. But what I do know is if I look below this to the left, there are literally no pullbacks in here. This is straight up, and this is a very powerful move. I know that there's a short trade in here. So I don't know when it's going to hit, but I do know that if this does come down, the next time it goes through, that there's a trade setup sitting right there. Like I said, could be today, could be tomorrow, could be Wednesday. I don't know, right? I don't have a crystal ball. But the next time it does come through there, if it starts to base in that level, now all of a sudden it is a momentum continuation Harry Potter trade. Make sense? So, but yeah. So, and the other thing too, Jeff, to point out on this one with ES, it was absolutely a short. Old violated level, been hit multiple times, dropped, based, pulled back, touched that old level, went down. Remember, you're looking to go long down here, but technically, because we were already short, this is your target, right? Not an entry, right? We don't hit the reverse button. That's how brokers make lots of money by people hitting the reverse button. It's a target first, and then you have to see if it reestablishes as an entry, right? What? I can't do that one. I know that's brothers. I can't do that one. Sorry, buddy. I don't know how to do brothers. My kids are smart. They took the codes off, and now it's just facial recognition, or they changed the codes and put facial recognition in because they know I can't, can't check their tablets. But anyway, that's NQ. That's a ES. NQ. We talked about that one again, being between kind of two levels, and again, similar level down low, but it's much sloppier. YM also had obviously an entry. We're out, came down, touched the 78 from the initial push, and is rallying back up again. Again, could you use this level? It's all right. I mean, let's see. It is a 50-61, so I mean, it is kind of bracketed off again. So depending on the time, yeah, there could be a reversal here this afternoon, right? But I think the initial push in, all the retail traders are selling, and that's why we're seeing the reversal now, as well as the data was good. Services is actually not bad to have be up there. And then as far as Russell goes, obviously Russell took a big tank right at 9:30. Russell again. I mean, I haven't changed it. This is the same trade from last week. We talked about a level, right? Boom, it was a level up. 1, 2, 3, based, blew it up all the way back down again, and we're talking about this one coming lower. So Russell is the worst. So I would say right now for Russell, taking yourself out on a buy looks like 1845 is kind of where the target is to the downside. Again, all the other indices right now are seeing a little bit of a pickup in there, probably profit taking in the 10:30 time frame off that services data, just because of the time that it's in. But at this point, the realization that interest rates are getting risen, yeah, buddy, that kind of makes a difference. So, yeah, I would say that if we continue lower, impulse, correction, impulse back down. 1845 would be my call for the Russell later today. So, but again, Monday, nothing. A little bit, but we know oil. Nothing. And again, this staying red is awesome because again, it's pushing back down into a level where they have news tonight. And again, euro pound continuing to move higher. But look, this is starting to get deteriorate a little bit more. This is starting to kick back a little bit, and this one should be going as well. Once the news is out, this should deteriorate, which should help this one. And again, we're seeing weakness here, seeing weakness here in the pound, but yet this is still positive. So again, pound yen. Red green. Yeah, we're kind of at a short now. Yeah, it's 200 something. It's 250. What did I say? 250. What did I have pound data this week? Maybe Wednesday. Geez, there's nothing. And the pound is really anemic this week too. So this is probably like a Thursday, something along those lines. So, all right. So that's it for today. Like I said, it's kind of a boring Monday right now. Look at this: euro dollar, 3 pips in 24 hours, 12. Super boring, right? And again, this is not a U.S. story. This is a pound story. You're seeing it right here, right? And then obviously the yen is up. I'm sorry, the yen is down. So, yeah, it is what it is. All right, so let's go ahead and do our drawing for today. So Ernest won on Friday. Again, this will be his second win. Miranda crushed it last week. She won 3. So we'll see if that gets started this week. Who we missing today? No Sean. No Sean. He probably has 12 feet of snow. And Will, did you get affected? I don't know. Did you get affected by any of the power outages down there? I saw a thing that like people are that they're talking about power outages or something. I was like, what? No names, no names. I'm messing Sean. Hey, Sean's not even here. Nah, we were fine. Okay. Yeah, I saw. I didn't know why there was power outages. I was like, oh, like 200,000 people. I was like, what? I thought that was strange. I was like, huh. So, all right. Winner of today's drawing is Nero. I didn't even say your name today. So see, I didn't even say your name, Nero. Didn't even say it. Give you a 25 for the day. All right, there we go. So in the next 24 hours, let's reset this all up again. Again, just make sure you are ready. Best thing we got going on really is tonight right now with the interest rate rise. Everybody knows what the expectation is. We're seeing the Aussie dollar down 35. It is not huge, but I think this is where the trade is going to be tonight. Down 35 is not big, but you can see since where we closed Friday, this is a big push down again. There's a couple levels down here that if we drive into those levels, although I hate to say go long when there's an interest rate rise, right now, market-wise, that's what it's looking like it's setting up for. And again, you can see the yen starting to tick back again as well. So right now, with the Aussie getting all this weakness in before the news, again, it may give us the opportunity to go long tonight. So that's the best-looking trade we have today as far as news goes. Keep your eye out for headlines with OPEC. That's the other one out there that we kind of got to watch out for. That's kind of it. So, all right, with that said, I'm out of here. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Thank you so much for joining me today. Hopefully tomorrow we got some more decent news and some levels. Like I said, this is one of those Mondays. It's like a case of the December Mondays, right? It's not just the Mondays, it's the December Mondays. So, and again, this, I hate to say it, but Schultz is 100% right on this one. Yeah, this means making every effort to build new partnerships, pragmatically without ideological blinders. Single these two out. Yeah. Yeah. So rough stuff. All right, you guys have a good one. Take care. I'll see you tomorrow.